My name is Bree Essrig, and I am a content creator turned adult content creator. I actually went to this boarding school, and guys would come up to my window and ask me to flash them. And I'd be like, okay, give me $10. And they would. And I was like, I love this for me. So it's like been inherent in me since I was younger. And I think after being just a regular content creator for a long time, the demand was there. And so I decided to feed into it. I've been creating adult content since 2017. And I started OnlyFans, I think 2019 or 2020. I think because I'm a deeply anxious person, being able to communicate with a lot of people at once and control their perception of me through the internet and showing the things I want to show about myself, that's why I love doing it so much because I feel so out of control in my real life. My community is specifically adult content creators at this point, both in real life and online, just because we have this shared, not just interest, but like way of communicating with one another. It's not super typical, and we've seen some things, we've all seen some things together. So it's almost, I wouldn't say a trauma bond, but it's like my comrades. You know what I mean? Like we fought a war together. This is something I think about often, the censorship, not just laws, but like it's always kind of been a thing. And it used to be called shadow banning. And then they would say it's not a real thing, but we all knew it was because we were getting banned from the platform or silenced. And I just think it's so unfair that adults aren't allowed to play in their own adult spaces. I just wish there was like a space for kids to have their own platform and adults to have their own platform, and then there would be no censorship in a perfect world. I think people would be really surprised to find out that not only do they know a lot more sex workers than they think they do, but it's also so much a job that it's like literally like working on a customer service phone line. It's so like tedious and like it feels like I mean, it's different because you're not working in like an office environment. It's not a 9 to 5, not typical, but like it feels like work. Like, I think people think we're like having our cake and having so much fun. And sometimes we are, but most of the time it's like it is just a job. We're selling a fantasy. That's all it is. And I think despite of what people like find uncomfortable about certain aspects of our job, at the end of the day, that's all it is. And we are just selling our labor, same as everybody else. I think the things that give me hope about what I do is people are starting to understand it a little bit more, and it's not as black and white as people thought. And there's just like different degrees, or as we like to say in our industry, it's a hierarchy. And I think people are starting to like become more accepting because there's so many layers and levels to it. That said, I still think there's like so much discrimination for people at the top of that who do like in-person sex work or just straight up pornography. And I think it's so unfair, the stigma behind it, especially because artists are allowed to make whatever they want under the guise of art. But when people sell their bodies, that suddenly doesn't, the same rules just don't apply to them anymore. And I think it's all the same thing if you really boil it down. Like we're still making like R-rated or X-rated content that you would see in a movie directed by Scorsese. You know what I mean? And for me, for example, I do like R-rated, not NC-17 content, but like Emma Stone has done more. She won an Oscar for doing more sex on camera than I've done, and yet I'll be banned, stigmatized, brands won't want to work with me, and she'll go on to win an Oscar and everyone will want to work with her. And it's interesting. It's we're all doing the same thing at the end of the day. I want to say stay positive, but it's such a bleak time in the world right now. And I think our work is always going to be important. No matter how you feel, how anyone else feels about it, there's always going to be a place for us. And what we do is really valid and really important. And people need to get off straight up, and that's okay. I like it. I like what I do, and I love contributing to it. I have never wanted to fuck anything more than censorship. Fuck censorship.